Hi, this is Carla Barila Karam with my fourth video in my series of 5 steps to drop shipping. We're getting started. I'm helping you get started on the right foot and building a solid foundation. These are all tips and things that I learned along the way in my experience of being a drop shipper myself for the last couple of years, doing it for a business. I have much more experience doing it for a hobby before that. And in this fourth video, we are going to talk about customers because we all need them. So these are customer service tips, okay? So let's find out, let's really dive into what customer service is. It's the assistance and advice provided by a company to those people who buy or use its products or services. So that's basically what customer service is. A customer is a person or an organization that buys goods or services from a store or a business, okay? And then as a business, you're providing a service. It's the action of helping or doing some work for someone, So it all ties in. Okay, so let's get on to the meat. And so I touched a little bit on about customers. You know, we all need them. We can't live without them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in business, right? And part of great customer service is knowing what your limits are and to use them to your benefit as well as your customer. You'll understand a little bit more as I move along. So the first great tip that I have for you is before anything, put a smile on. Always speak to everyone with a smile, on the phone especially, okay? Your smile will come through in what you're saying. You only get one chance at a first impression. It makes a huge difference, so make sure you have the right attitude when you're making that phone call. Then after that, you want to, and this is all providing I'm giving you tips providing that you have received an email from a customer in drop shipping, okay, whatever it may be. So you receive that email, put on that smile. You're going to call your supplier, and you're going to ask them any questions that you have on any of their policies, any return, refund, time, concerning questions, or even shipping as far as return, or anything that has raised a red flag in that email that you have to address. Okay, then the second call that I highly recommend is to eBay. Let them know that you received an email from your customer and you're handling it. Whatever it may be, just let them know and have them documented on your record. So it just causes like a paper trail. So if there's any issues at all, eBay knows that you have addressed the situation from the beginning, and eBay really likes that. So once you've done that, what you're going to do is you have all the information. So this is about knowing your limits and how to use them to your benefit and even your customers, because now in talking to eBay and in talking to your supplier, whether it is Amazon or whether it is Overstock or any other supplier that you're using, if you're further along that you've come across or whatever, you have found out all this information. So that information, you're going to use it to your benefit and to your customer's benefit, because regardless, you want a happy outcome. So once you have that information and you've talked to your customer, you've made a great impression because you put that smile on, you're going to follow up that phone call with an email to your buyer. Okay? And you are going to confirm everything that you discussed for the most part. And you're also going to thank them for their time and reassuring them that you are thinking of their best interest, that you are on their team. They can trust you. You're building a relationship. You're building a rapport with this person, okay? And in doing email correspondence, only, I can't stress that enough, use eBay email for all the issues with your buyer. if you go outside of eBay and something is handled in your email, or if you receive the first email from your buyer in personal email, what you're going to do is you're going to respond them, highlighting all their text and making it part of your initial response to them via email to eBay, and kind of reiterating what they sent you on your personal email. Will it cover you? They start responding and agreeing to everything that you put in that email, it'll cover you, okay? Now, irate customers, it's going to happen. You can't make everybody happy. If the moment that you can come to that determination and have that mindset, the easier it will be in handling your customer. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stay calm. Remember to stay calm. Try to remain diplomatic, polite, be businesslike, because if you get angry, all that's going to happen out of that is the buyer is going to get angrier. And it's just going to cause an ugly chain of events. In talking to them on the phone, try to see things their way. Look at it from both point of view. You know, with the customer, with your buyer, you would grow a compassion and understanding, and possibly even feel the same way if you were going under that same, given that same situation with you. And of course, thank the buyer. Yes, thank the buyer. Even if they're complaining, thank them, because they are raising a concern to something, and you want to also do it sincerely, and also emphasize the importance of what it means for you to have a satisfied buyer. It goes a long way. Whether you are in the right or in the wrong, you just thank them for bringing it to your attention. Another great tip is to listen. Listen for understanding. Sometimes all the irate customer wants is for someone to listen to their story. Even if you're unable to help them, just listen. Ask questions. Listen, ask questions, get their facts, the feelings. Listen to learn instead of listening to prepare for your response. And from whatever you do not interrupt, and do not respond quickly. In your conversation, find something to agree upon. Find points of agreement with their concerns. Establish a common ground. By doing this, you're going to show the person that you are listening. And in talking to them, come across like you're willing to help. Always show a willingness to resolve the problem or conflict, and try to make the resolution seem as easy as possible. Don't have them jump through any hoops or anything. And in doing all of this, be you, be genuine, and show your personality in talking to them. Respond as an understanding friend instead of citing out policies. Again, it's about building relationships. And in doing so, you need to be firm, but understanding with your answers. If it's a policy, it's a policy. You can't change it. Be firm. It'll just cut it shorter. And as a last result, offer a partial discount, or even offer to refund your profit or a portion thereof. Sometimes it'll work for you or against you. Even if you're in the right, sometimes some customers will say, no, that's okay. And again, it goes back to they just may want to be heard. That's all. They just wanted to let you know so it doesn't happen to anybody else. And in doing that, I'm going to give you my top 10 telephone tips. Some of them we may have already touched in the last page that we were on, but my first tip is to be genuine. I know we touched on this one, Push your personality through on the phone. Be conversational. Don't interrupt, but be genuine. Number 2, names. Use the customer name. Not only that, but use your full name. Don't hide behind anything. Be transparent. People will see that and they'll take compassion and understanding to that as well. Tip number 3, and we went on it a little bit on the last screen, is listen. Listen for understanding. Ask open-ended questions, not questions that require a yes or a no answer. And be a responsive listener as well. And in doing that, give them time. Allow that person time to think and speak. They could be a slow thinker and a slow speaker. So take that in consideration. And where there is silence, you'll kind of get a grasp for it. Fill in the silence with something when appropriate. Number 5, telephone call. Instead of using an email, that first contact should be a telephone call and not an email, unless you tried getting a hold of them and then your email would say, hey, I just tried calling you. Leave them a voicemail. Let them hear your concern in their voice. Next to seeing someone in person, hearing them is the best thing. In email and texting, so much can be misconstrued. Emotion is lost. Misunderstandings can happen. So bear that in mind. Number 6, show integrity. Take ownership. Don't blame someone else. If you made a mistake, apologize. Move forward. That person isn't perfect either. Just show a little humility. It goes a long way. Number 7, go off script. So if your company, or if you like scripts, right? I showed you a script book by Danny Johnson. Okay, she has some great stuff in there, and it's a great skeleton to build some meat on. Add your personality to that script. No one wants to talk to a robot, and no one wants to be patronized. And sometimes when you're reading a script, a person can really feel patronized because you're not being you. You're not showing compassion. You're not showing I know this has happened to me, so that's what I'm going with. Okay, number 8, always ask permission before using the speakerphone. Let them know. If you use a speakerphone, at first when you're saying hello, Mrs. Smith, this is Carla, Karam. I have you on speakerphone. My regular handset is not working, or I have my warehouse person here with me. Let's get this taken care of. Whatever. Number 9, keep pace. Speak at the same rate as the other person. Now, if the other person is a really slow speaker, don't go so slow that it comes across like you're making fun of them, okay? But then, if they're a fast speaker, you don't want to speak too fast either. And if they're yelling, you don't want to yell. So just kind of keep the pace and try to gauge the conversation and like be a thermometer. If they're really irate, then you try to come in soft and so forth. And what also part of the keeping pace is to pause between ideas for clarity, to make sure that they're understanding you. And my top, number 10, it's not a top, these are not in any given order, but number 10 telephone tip is, I covered it before, end with a thank you. Always thank the caller. Even if it was their bad or whatever, thank them, because without them, you wouldn't have a home business. So you need these customers, and you'd be surprised how many of my associates have gotten return business just on a complaint, starting on a complaint, by using good phone and telephone etiquette. I hope that those tips help you well. Again, this is the 4th video in the series of customer service tips. Number 1 was on mindset. Number 2, we talked about goals. Third video was what accounts that you need in order to get started with drop shipping. This video covered some great customer service tips, and then the next video, I can't wait. The next video we will be talking about social media tips. So on that note, Carla Barila Karam here. I'm signing off, and we'll see you in the next video.